Yeah, like 80% of the people that I knew, personally and in business, disappeared. Like my mum was in jail at the time of the freestyles.
Thinking about my mum doing time, sometime I don't get no sleep. If you was me, you'd cry, but I won't weep.
Me, Sneakbo, Krept Konan, Yungen.
Had anyone jumped on Masher with him yet?
I don't want to say no one never ever did it, but we made it a thing.
There's one more, obviously it's slightly controversial here, but
My freestyle and Krept Konan's freestyle, we both did it behind bars. That's helped to establish
Link up.
and no one can't chat to me about it either. And if you do want to chat to me about it, Brandon always set me apart from all of my peers. Do you know what I mean? So everyone I know need to do therapy.
100%.
Therapy sessions is now a birthday gift.
What did you go through from the point of, you was popping, bro?
I've done marketing courses at Berkeley University while I was in Jamaica.
Cut the crap and connect with them.
This is exactly why I needed him on the show. This is why. Yo, my people there, Mr. Boy Tris Taylor. I'm back with another episode of the Brand Therapy Show, where we discuss businesses, brands, and experiences in a therapeutic conversation. And this is my first UK episode. So I touched down in London City about 3 days ago now. My first episode in 3 years. Haven't been in the city in 3 years. And it was only right that I started out the podcast tour with my brother, the legend himself, Cassh, my brother. Come on, bro.
What?
All right, cool. Before we even get into anything, yeah, I want to actually start with what we just started with off the camera. Yeah, we're gonna set the tone right. Where did we first come across each other, bro?
This is what we gotta do.
All right, go on.
This is what we gotta do. I feel like we're gonna do it at the same time.
All right, but you know the thing is, I ain't got a specific point.
Yeah, but is it so is it a specific event or place that you remember?
Nah, we can't do it at the same time because I've got to describe. All right, so for me, I couldn't say a first time. Generally, obviously, man grew up with hella mutuals and like same sort of area, etc. I don't know, bro. I think anything I would refer to would actually be more recently. We got a mutual, yeah. We got a mutual. I was saying that we got a mutual TR.
Khadijah.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying.
Who's Khadijah?
Right. Oh my goodness, it's gonna get crazy on YouTube.
Wait.
She's watching this, right?
Who's Khadijah? Khadijah. Who's Khadijah? Why am I put it on me? Search period, you know. Wait. I was talking about old school Khadijah, light skin.
Yeah.
Khadijah and she had her best friend.
Yeah.
Light skin girl. Yeah. Simpson.
Do you know what it is? No. Do you know what it is? Let me tell you what it is.
Raven Days.
Right. No, before that.
Turn him. No, that's Carisha. Wait. Who's Khadijah? And you definitely got the right person.
Long story short.
Have you definitely got the right person?
Long story short, we met through some sort of mutual women at some point. We were that guy, we were those guys in those times. You gotta tell them.
I didn't even know I was those guys. I knew you was those guys.
No, I knew you was that guy.
Oh, wait.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know, but yeah, it goes back. And I think, to be honest, the reason why like, I'm glad we're here is, as much as there's obviously been a foundation, the rebuild, if you want to call it that, was very organic.
Right.
I think first it must have been, you posted something, I posted something, one of us must have engaged with something. Right. I think actually I posted something and you liked it and it was not what I would have expected. It wasn't nothing to do with music, it was probably about mindset or something like that. And then after that, I think I followed you and and obviously I saw the journey. And yeah, and then from there, like in the last 10 years, bro, we probably crossed past 100 million times anyway, do you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm glad that we finally got here. And the reason I'm glad we got here is because one thing I've always noticed about you from a young age is you always stood out against the collectives. You always went against the grain, like even the way that we used putting music together, like, the mindset behind it, the vocabulary, like. And I've noticed that a lot more since you come back. Like the way you speak for me was like, nah, I need to have a conversation with my mate. So when people asked me, he asked me yesterday, he said like, who would I really like to have a convo with? One of the people that I mentioned was Akala. Reason being, he's an intelligent brother. And that's one thing aside of your story, which we'll touch on, that I noticed about yourself, that you articulate yourself very well. But what I don't want to do, and I said to myself, I don't just want to just focus solely on the story, because I feel like every platform you go on, it's like, what happened? How did it happen? Why did it happen? And obviously we can't skip around it because some of our audience may not know. So I'll let you summarize it. Yeah, what the big story was, and then we'll continue from
So the synopsis of it is really, I was born in Jamaica. I arrived in the UK at around 6 years old, went to Oliver Goldsmith Primary School in Peckham, went to Peckham Academy, Warwick Park Peckham Academy Secondary School in Peckham. Lived between Peckham and Lewisham, so I've always done that back and forth journey and whatnot. But just South London in general is where I grew up in London, but I've lived everywhere as well, but residence is South. And then when I turned, I think 19, I was removed from the UK and sent back to Jamaica, basically, because my paperwork's, I basically didn't have status in the country. I wasn't here legally, which I didn't know growing up until a certain point. I didn't think I was British, but I didn't know the paperwork side of stuff and whether I just knew I've never flown anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
I was gonna say you never traveled anywhere, and that's like but bear man have travels.
Like traveling, there's some of the man them went on family holidays, the girls and that, but it weren't like everyone was going on holiday. Went to the trench.
But the
privilege to do that. So that I blended in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, you never went nowhere. I just went to check your country. I just used to check my country. We're the same boat. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't aware basically. And then long story short, I got removed from the UK, sent back to Jamaica. Had to fight my case from there basically. Did that for 5 years. I was in Jamaica for 5 years, and got back to the UK in 2019. And then basically, now it's the return of the immigrant.
Yeah. All right, cool. So the reason I said I don't want to go into the story much is I more want to focus on where you grew from that situation, because obviously like there's hella questions. Again, if people are looking and they've never seen Cashh before, there's lots of other platforms you're on where you can go find out the ins and outs of the story. But firstly, let's start on the fact that you were removed at a point in your career where you was the guy, bro. Like, let's just be honest. And I really want to elaborate on that, because at that time, as a massive student in the game and having a lot of friends that were also the guys and about to blow, etc., I know where you was positioned. It's not I would have been a professional footballer if I didn't break my leg. Like it was, I was going pro, bro. I think there was even a contract in place. You signed already? You signed already. One of the early deals in UK. How did that feel? The fact that, forget even the Jamaica thing we'll talk about in a second, but the fact you was popping.
Do you know what? I feel like for me, it happened so fast. Because at that point, we were in the streets and I didn't detach when all of these things were happening. You know what I mean? So it's like, I had to kind of just adapt to how fast everything was happening. At one point, we were doing the most shows in the UK. And we're doing this without any industry link. We don't know nobody. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The most industry, I tell you, do you know, in them days there, do you know the closest industry link the man ever had? Bouncers that worked outside the clubs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, my man works in West outside that club, you know, he passes a lot of people the time, you know what I'm saying? Or DJs, like, wow, my man's a DJ. But man never had no links or nothing like that to be able to do what we were doing at the time. So it felt good, but because we were still living it, I didn't get to see exactly what we were doing. It's only when I reflect on everything that has happened, I realize we were doing a lot.
When you say we, who are you referring to?
So when we started, it was me and Scully. Them days it was going by the name LP. And we put out our first mixtape together called The Formula. That was in the street. So on that project, we got everyone on there, from Gigs to Fem Felon to H.Dot. Like foundation shit. That mixtape's recorded in Unit 10, hosted by a big ride. Foundation shit, you get me? So through that, obviously, that's circulating and whatnot. And then we formed the collective Big Lee Records. Big Lee's obviously our OG from the passed away. The man them formed a record label in honor of his name. So we had a collective, and there was a bag of man in there. Our first thing that we put out that went off, I'd say, was Gunshot, which Gunshot is basically on the touch a button Vibes Cartel.
trust them, boy, they a baby. Gunshot make them scream like a lady. When the tray squeeze, make your brain leak. Gunshot, give a boy gunshot.
That was a war track at the time,
Right,
innit?
right. So that should no, they turned it into that.
Okay.
You get me? Man just did the song. The song, to be fair, originally, what used to happen is the man them used to book studio time, and everyone would write what they write during their spare time. When it's the day of studio, everyone gets in and go and record what they're recording. I was just supposed to do that tune solo. You get me? But I've gone in and I've done the hook. By the time I've come out the booth, everyone's verse is ready. Get me? They had their money their way, you know.
See, that's just get you in trouble.
But I'm saying, right, everyone's got their verses ready. The song ended up turning into a madness, you get me? But then I think the Brixton youths at the time, they've done their version on the same rhythm.
Yeah.
Someone's put Brixton versus Peckham
On the YouTube title or something.
I think Sneakbo done a couple versions before.
Yeah, that's right.
Before he found their version.
That's right.
You get me? And a couple one, I think one with Tempman.
Yeah.
Then he ended up finding the touch a button and whatnot. So yeah. When I say I'm referring to Big Lee Records.
So around that time, like what for anyone who doesn't know, like see me when I speak out, I like to assume that no one even knows me, let alone my guest, yeah? So what was the popping songs right around that time that were like got you buzzing from a street level, whatever level?
Yeah, so it would be Gunshot, and then the next one, Gunshot was going off. Them niggas ain't wavy, they're lazy.
Yeah.
But do you know what it is? That song, I swear that song even got banned because they said every time it played in all of these little under 18 raves or whatnot, it just, the bass is going off. You get me?
That's when a lot of, that's kind of
Right.
the early stages of the drill.
Right. No, way before the drill. This is
No, I'm saying that's the foundation that led.
Do you know what it is? It's basically, this was like, you had grime songs, right? That was going off in grime raves. We're talking about a street anthem on a dancehall rhythm with UK street niggas rapping on it.
Which wasn't happening.
It wasn't happening. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, man put that together. You get what I'm trying to say?
What made you at that point? Had anyone jumped on Masher rhythms yet?
I wouldn't say, I don't want to say no one never ever did it, but we made it a thing. You get what I'm trying to say? And I think what happened at the time is we've done that, Sneakbo's done what he's doing, and then basically the sound itself is, Sneakbo was already doing that stuff anyway. We're all doing it. There was, what everyone has to remember, there was no platform. So the only way you'd know who was doing it is if he was really outside. You get what I'm trying to say? If he was really hearing what a man was doing. So we started it in terms of getting a song that was buzzing, that had a structure to it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, because for example, like Touch a Button, no chorus, straight bars. Talking the Hardest, no chorus, straight bars. We put a chorus on the thing, even though there's 7 man on there, we put a chorus on there so it had somewhat a structure of a song. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So because Gunshot was getting banned because they're saying it's inciting violence or whatever it is, it's like the first time we caught basically both sides of the culture, innit? Because it's UK rap, but it's on dancehall, which is what we were shubs into them times anyway. You get me? So I said to the man that we got to do like we ended up doing it like a girl version, not a girl version, but we ended up doing the follow-up to that was Gal Call Me Up. That with me, I'm saying that still. Right, so I'm saying, right, we've got a gal tune now. This should fly.
Who's that on the hook again?
Style OG.
You
know what I'm saying? Style, you know what I'm saying? Stylo's on the hook, because these times man's recording in the Stylo studio. You get me? So Stylo's got the hook on Gal Call Me Up.
Big tune. Stylo's always been very smart with the younger generation.
Always. But Stylo's foundation, a lot of people don't give him his flowers.
He did, 100%.
100%. For the fact we're not talking about someone that's not around. He's still shelling.
I was in Dubai. Right. I see him like 2-3 weeks ago, shelling the club. Yeah, big up Stylo, man.
So that was it.
So around this time, like just to kind of give it a bit of narrative, you was a part of the period that, see me, like I'm 31, I always hold on to this period with my hands tight because this was a pivotal period for UK music. Because this is the time where man were doing it with no, it was no money in it at the time. Man was just doing it for passion. And if it weren't for that period, we would never have seen what we see now, yeah? Obviously, we can always say that from the generations before, but we're going to focus on from there. So when that was going on, that was around the same time as like Yungen popping, Sneakbo popping, Krept Konan. Then you started having Section, and this is obviously as the years went on, yeah? But then I started to notice that you started falling back from the 8-bar rhythms and the rhythms of Bear Man and started to do a lot more of your own stuff.
Right.
What led to that? Because at first it was gang. It was gang, gang, gang. All the songs were gang. But then it became a lot more of your own rhythms that were coming out. What was that?
I'd say the first transition was, to be fair, I was always doing that, but those were the songs that got the attention.
Fair.
So it's almost like, okay, cool. I'm going to utilize the attention that I get through this, putting this product out.
Yeah.
I know there's a fan base out there for what I do.
Yeah.
So the moment I get the attention, it's going to filter through. I'm going to let you hear what I can do. And whoever I lose, but I'm going to gain.
Yeah.
So that's the way I leveraged it. And the flip side to that is, at this point, I'm then putting in my first applications to stay in the country.
Whilst it started popping.
While all of this is happening, and obviously I'm telling them I do music. I can't let them go and search my name and see what was on. I'm trying to say the content of the music. That's even how the Cashtastic name came in.
Okay.
So if you're searching,
because it was Cashh first, and then you were Tastic. Yeah.
If you search Cashh, it was just bare gang shit. You get me?
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously in my application, I'm telling them this is what I do. You get me? I'm a musician.
Furthermore, are you even subscribed to my channel? You're sitting here about to watch this episode full of gems and about to learn everything you need to learn to level up and build a brand for yourself. But are you subscribed to this channel? If not, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification, and you will never miss another episode of this again.
That's it, was when you were starting to get more of the latest interest.
So this is now when we've done Guest and the Rave with Krept Konan.
Got you.
So it's now when you search the name, the music sounds a lot more commercial.
Yeah.
We're still outside, but from the music side of stuff, it started being tidied up so that when they searched, they wouldn't see that I'm crazy. You get me? It didn't make a difference. I ended up on the plane. Anyway, but they helped me to grow into the artist that I am now, because in them times there, like I said, I know how to structure a song rather than, because alright, cool. Grime always had a main chorus, and it's just 8 bars, 4 bars, But UK rap, it was about showing your abilities. How long can you rap for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like 5 minutes, shelling, bare bars, bare metaphors, bare storytelling within that. That was what you had to do as a UK rapper in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? My thing was, I could foresee.
I was just gonna ask you that. Yeah, like. You come across as someone who always had vision, but you see back then, did you see the music get like was you clear? Because now you're very hands-on with your music. You know how you want it to sound. You know your brand, everything is very like you've got it. Back then, was you as hands-on? Like, was it as important to you, or was it just bars?
Nah, it always was.
Yeah, I feel like it was, innit? And it shows as well.
Always was, but I give that to my brother. Like one of my older brothers, he was doing music. He's wire rap.
Okay.
He went to America for a bit, so when he ended up moving back to the UK, he set up the studio in the house and that. So I became like his protege. That's who I saw.
Yeah.
And his thing was structured.
Attention to detail.
His thing was very structured. Like I'm seeing them man there trapping and then investing it into the music. So I saw that early. You know what I'm trying to say? Some people may have saw people trapping and investing it into, I don't know, proper
stuff. Well, yeah.
Then some people saw the investment go into lifestyle. I saw it go into music early, so that played a massive part to me. You get what I'm trying to say? I see the graft, and then I see the results. You get what I'm trying to say? And obviously, he's inspiring me. So whenever he's on, I'm on.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm seeing him doing videos, renting out the boats on the river. This is like Channel U. He's trying to make the best video for Channel U.
Yeah.
I don't even know I think he probably ended up making it on there, but I saw the process of that mindset.
Yeah. And you know your brother as an artist, or is he behind the scene?
No, he's behind the scenes.
Okay.
But it's like, at this stage, I was watching how an artist develops.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm only realizing that now.
How old is you?
I'm talking like 10. I first recorded at 10. Like, then the first song I recorded on was like an 8-bar of a song he allowed me to record on. You get me? So, and that was a moment because obviously I've done the 8-bar. Everyone's come upstairs in the studio to hear all my brothers. Because everyone's in there and the pressure's on to get there. I've got no forward. I'm a rapper now. You get me?
Not like an 8-bar rhythm. Not like an 8-bar rhythm.
I'm in, you get me? So I'd say, yeah, I think that played a lot of influence to how I ended up thinking and how I ended up like strategizing with all of the moves that we made. Because like there's love in music and then there's understanding the process of
which I
to
think
be a
is
music.
so clear with you. I'm so glad you say that because I feel like, yeah, man, you can see that in the way that you've moved and especially where you've maneuvered recently. But we'll get there. So okay, cool. So at that time, for you to get to like, where did the pivot happen? And one disclaimer I'll make is, a lover of the music, student of the game, but I won't remember specific moments. I won't remember song name, but I'll be able to rap the whole song. So where did that pivot happen between it being like local buzz to like link up freestyles? Because that's when it started. That's where
it is. So basically, we're at the same time forwarding up as link up. So,
yeah. Cool. So, I always tell that to people.
Right. So basically, my freestyle and Krept Konan's freestyle, we both did it behind bars. That's helped to establish
link up. Big fact. Big fact.
Like as the behind bars.
Big fact.
Freestyle platform.
Big fact.
So
yeah.
I remember Krept Konan's one they did. That's going off. We've recorded them around the same time. They staggered the releases or whatnot. But I did the Champion freestyle, which is the Chip one, and Chris Brown tune.
I tell him it's a dirty game on these roads, G. Man, a lining man, they used to call they Cody. You see me, I ain't got a lot of homies. Some more time on zone now.
I feel like that was a mad moment for me.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, at the time, like, it's similar to what it kind of has gone to now, but at the time, it's kind of like the content was just violent content that was running the place. My thing was, I was always, you know what it is, you see me, bro, whatever room I step in, I'm me.
Yeah.
Certain subjects that certain people might find as vulnerable, I'll air it out. Whatever I'm going through, I'm going to let the room know I'm going through it, and no one can't chat to me about it either. And if you do want to chat to me about it, then we're going to talk about it. You get what I'm trying to say?
100%.
But I've never been one of them to have the attitude of like making someone feel like they can embarrass man or nothing. You get me? So because of that, I always said things in the music that some people may deem embarrassing or whatnot. You get what I'm saying? So I think that played a part because I was like, I was saying some shit like not a lot of people were talking about. Like my mum was in jail at the time of the freestyle. So I'm like in the freestyle saying like, when I think about my mum doing time.
Oh yeah.
I remember that catching a lot of attention because it's not like I'm talking in the past tense.
Yeah.
Like I remember my mom doing time.
Yeah.
She's live in there now.
Yeah,
You get what I'm trying to say at the time of the freestyle. So
thinking about my mum doing time, sometime I don't get no sleep. If you was me, you'd cry, but I won't weep.
Little things like that, I think I wasn't the only one out there with a mum doing jail time at the time. So it's whoever it was, they hung on to that bar, fam. You get me? So that's how I started building my personal fan base. I'm talking about getting evicted out of the house and shit like that. You get me? At a time when everyone's supposed to be making money.
Bro, that's why I could. So you see, like, as of recently, like, obviously the brand that I've been pushing is the Cut the Crap brand, yeah. And where that come from for me was being known to be successful in business and then having a big downfall and then talking about it, being honest on a big platform, CEO cast, and just telling man like, I might live in Dubai, but man was broke out here. I got peak out here. And that's what I've picked up a lot in your music is that's where, you see when you go that angle, like one thing I've clocked is you may not get instant gratification, but you get the purest long term. Like man will always see you and tell you up, like people stop me like, bro, I get it, bro. Trust me, because the same kind of thing you just said, everyone was meant to be making money, right? Same with entrepreneurship, it's glamorous, right? Dubai, it's glamorous, right? Do you know what I'm saying? So the fact that you tell them the pain, but you don't really do it in the same way like a pot of paper, man. All right. Do you know what I'm saying?
Find a way to still make the pain vibesy.
Yeah, 100%.
But it is, it's like, there's layers to it, and that's where you break down different types of writers. because the subject could be pain, but there's bare different things you could talk about to do with pain. You get what I'm trying to say? It doesn't have to be in one way. And I think that's kind of what I've tried to tap into over the years. I've learned to do that through being in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Because how much pain yard songs do you know? Them man had us in the middle of the rain, bro. Talking about suffering.
Yeah, and we're down mad as well.
With champagne.
Right.
So it's like, what? And I think UK rap songs, it's like, oh shit, like when I'm listening to like, even let's say back then, Pain and the Essence, Devious Mind Thoughts, these type of tunes, we've never been in settings where they can run in the club. Because it's like there's slow rap songs. They're just, it's like, how are the yard man them doing? So
true.
I need to find a way how to bring that. Now, the Pain and Essence running any dance now, it's gonna run now. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we weren't there yet as consumers of UK rap. That weren't the case yet. That's why they weren't running like that. You get what I'm trying to say? Now they'd run, but I was seeing it from them times there. I've just tried to find a way how to not make it only go off in the UK because I'm in yard, and it's like if any of these songs played, no one's moving because no one knows them. And I realized the melody thing is what makes the difference.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. All right. So we're at that link up stage where obviously the whole scene started flourishing. Like, and it's a blessing to have seen it firsthand from Link Up GRM, obviously SBTV as well. And then
big up SBTV,
RIP Jamal,
always.
So you got to a point then where whereabouts in here was when all the legal stuff started, was after the link up behind bars. How close?
I'd say maybe got 2010, 2011. I got sent to yard in 2014, so I got a little run.
You had a little run still behind up.
Right, yeah.
So what led to the label attention?
Do you know what's happened? All right. In my mind, it's so mad as well, and I feel like not for the man them that grew up the way we grew up. I feel like at some point, as an exercise, try and work out the timeline, because I feel like because we were young and going through so many different things at once, we think we went through it.
Do you know what's so deep about that? You've said on a couple platforms, I can't remember the time of that, but this is what happened. And psychologically, like, to give you facts, and I spoke about this yesterday at a seminar I spoke at, like, our brain, it distorts memories, especially if there's pain attached. This is fact.
Right.
So, like you just said, oftentimes it could feel like you're going through something for time, or even the flip side, it could be like, oh, you might have numbed it. There's so many things our brain does to protect us.
I've experienced both sides.
Yeah. That's real PTSD.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like when I think about it, it's like in the streets, I was going through so much. Like, there was so much happening all at once, but it weren't just with me. It's like if I look at my brethren to the right, he's going through bare things too, like through whatever's happening with his mum on a personal level. You get what I'm trying to say? Then there's who he's having madness with in the streets. There's who he's done a madness to. And that's just one brethren. You get what I'm trying to say? Then you're going through your own personal shit. You got problems with finance. Everyone's got to live. You get what I'm trying to say? But you got to think, we're talking about children, bro. Now man's got kids. I'm thinking, you at my age that I was doing so many different things. It's like, God forbid, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? That's a lot to have on your shoulders as a teen, fam. You get me? Plus, there's the just living on edge to do with all of that. So I feel like the change probably came around the times. Now I've looked back and I've realized, I was going to say like time after when I got my fire in the booth. But I said all of that to say, when I look at the dates of when I released the Link Up TV Champion Freestyle thing, the Behind Bars, it was the same week as my fire in the booth. But in that time frame, like when I think about it, it feels like they were far apart. But there was no structure to the releases. The releases were coming rapid, but that played a part in our buzz. And I feel like that's a big part labels don't understand now. You want to work one product for so long, and in that time, the person that don't have a structure is shelling 2-3 products. So by the time your artist is supposed to be doing something, they can't compete with the man that didn't have a structure. And I'm not saying not to structure your stuff, but sometimes you have to structure with no structure.
Creativity is in freedom.
Right, you have to say. So, I'd say the Link Up TV thing happened. Firing of Booths happened.
Because I feel like you were going back to back to back.
Right, but what's happened with the fire in the booth now? Right, so this is now Unit 10, right? Unit 10.
I heard as soon as you said that, I heard that.
You know, like our generation, you're gonna know. You don't.
Bro, one dot.
Right.
Come on.
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Big motherfucking right.
I had to sip on the yak for that one. I had to sip on the yak for that one.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So that generation there, Unit 10 might be like a mythical place to a lot of people because a lot of people know about it but have never gone there.
Yeah. Even going there, I remember the first time going there, you think it's just gonna be like
right. Again, Unit 10 is like the studios, the hub. Yeah, I'm big up uni as well, man.
Yeah.
Because uni's still about shelling. But yeah, Unit 10 was the jungle of a studio, and I've gone through one day basically, and Giggs is in there doing a tune with Young Meth. And I'm in the second studio. I think it was me, Scully, Killer Kai, and we're doing a different freestyle for a different platform. You get me? And Meth, this is the first time. Meth's not from man's ends, so it's the first time. But he's a big rapper at this time, fam. Youngster.
outside.
Next door did a tune with H. You get me? So he's heard me rapping in the next room.
Yeah.
And that's how we've ended up connecting.
What got the label interested?
Started branding myself differently. Because obviously, I don't know, even me, fam, the man would tell you, I was one of them. I don't know if it's the fact that I was born in Yard, but I always had this thing like, there's a part of UK culture that I didn't tap into at some point. So you see the grime thing,
Too British for
it
you.
was not for me, bro. You get me?
You started on rap. Did you do
Straight.
grime tunes?
So you see that most UK rappers started in grime.
Yeah, you didn't.
I
do that.
skipped that, because it was nonsense to me. It didn't make no sense to me coming from Yard. You get me? I say certain aspect like the fact that they wheel, but I didn't understand why they kept repeating the same bar. So because of that, I'd say even just from early, I've just been different, bro. So my dress sense in itself, I always branded myself different. When I was outside stepping, it's like I know what a Fed's gonna look at.
Yeah.
So why would I dress like that? You get what I'm trying to say?
I used to feel like that.
Right. So there's enough times the man we'd be out there on the front line, the man Feds will come, they'll be trying to stop and search everybody. I was always the one that could slip through. So you get me? Because I'm not wearing what the man are wearing. So branding, I didn't realize what I was doing with branding at that point, but branding always set me apart from all of my peers, do you know what I mean? So I feel like the label interest came because the branding aspect started coming in. We started making sure that in the videos, we was making sure that it looked a bit more friendly, if that makes sense. You get me? It's like, we're from this, but we have other sides to us too. And you gotta remember, this is in like Tinchy, Strider, N-Dubs. There is nothing from the streets flying anywhere commercially.
I was gonna say, have anyone got deals yet?
Yeah, this is like, Tinchy is like main man. Big up Tinchy.
From like a street, South.
Nah.
Krept Konan won't stand yet.
No, because remember, me and them man are building together.
Yes, yeah.
You get me? So this is before, alright, so cool. At this stage, Krept Konan are looking at our thing like, yo, we need to get on what them are doing.
Yeah.
At these points, we're slapping like 100,000 views a day.
Yeah.
And this is with Gal Call Me Up and them. You get what I'm trying to say? This is early. We ended up dismantling Big Lee Records because everyone ended up doing their own things individually. But really and truly, I'd say it makes sense. Big Lee Records was basically like, as a collective, it was like an early version of what Section Boys ended up becoming.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, in terms of having 7 very different men on but in rap, not in grime. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's what ended up happening. Section Boys, 6, 7, etc.
Yeah.
I'd say we kind of, even though there's obviously PDC and all of that before, but in terms of like the new younger generation, that was us, you get me? That came through and done that. So the label interest came through branding.
Yeah.
In the branding. Really.
And was there any specific songs that got the interest, or was it just overall what you was doing? Like, what was your most popping? Was there anything that broke a barrier?
I think the freestyles.
Link Up one.
Yeah, the freestyles and the fire in the booth, because I'm 16. And
16?
Yeah, so my first time I've stepped in there is I'm 16 and I've gone in there.
You didn't really play on age. You see, like back then you had your eyes because you had certain artists that kind of played on age. I don't feel like I ever remember a moment of thinking Cassh is young.
Yeah, nah, do you know what? There's a running joke. They kept on saying I was lying about my age because they're like, he's still young. That's because of how young I came in. You get me?
How old do you know?
I'm 29 now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm 29 now. So at 16, I'm doing the fire. I'm bringing the man in. So I'm bringing the man in from the road into the BBC building for the first time. You get what I'm trying to say? And I've done that. So at 16, I've come in with youngster and them lot. I went back again at 17, my second fire in the booth. I brought my lot through now. You know what I'm trying to say? For them to see it. They didn't get to rap, but they got to meet Charlie Slop. You get what I'm trying to say? And build their own relationship so that they could eventually do what they need to do. And then I think I did 16, 17, and I might have missed 18. Or I might have done 18 as well. 3 years in a row, fire in the booth. Do you know what I mean? So it's the consistency plus the F64.
Cashh, Cashtastic, SBTV, F64, follow me on Twitter at Cashtastic Music. Last year I was watching F64, this year I was told write a fresh 64. Now this shows the progress I'm making.
You know, I want to touch on that. Like, I think people forget how impactful that one was because you see SBTV, obviously the brand changed direction a little bit, and a lot of people forget that in the convo when they mention the GRMs and when they mention the Daily Duppies. Can't forget that one. Because I can't lie, the F64,
Listen,
I don't want to say anything wrong, but it was before Daily Duppy.
Yeah, of course.
And it was before Behind Bars. It was the first one, isn't it?
F64. This is
First
what I'm saying.
one,
Listen,
for Freestyle.
for you to get any, this is what the difference is now. For you to have gotten any of these platforms, then you had to have been shelling.
Had to be gone.
You had to have been doing something for these lot to even reach out to you. Now it's like through connections, people can just put their artists on these platforms. And I feel like we need to kind of get a bit strict with the gateway. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like there's loads of other platforms. Go and run those. Before you come here. You get what I'm trying to say? Because that's just watered down a lot of the platforms.
But it's all become a business, innit? Like the thing is, back then it was like for example, like with Jamal was ear to the, like Jamal, one thing about Jamal, he was very ear to the streets. So he knew exactly what was going on. Finger was on the pulse. We got Jamal, man, I promise you.
And the F64, I said, yeah, that played another part to me. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm linked up with Bangles and that now.
Oh, is that right? This is the period, yeah? Okay.
I remember the F64, I got a local stripy shirt on. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to do my thing different. Everyone's wearing trackies. I'm saying I've got shirts on. You get me? So I remember doing this. This is now in East London. Huh? When I think about it now, bro, as I'm speaking to you, I'm realizing just the different chapters of my life. There was a stage I've moved to East.
No way.
Yeah, there's a stage I've moved to East. I'm living in Stratford. You get me? So when I've connected with Bangles, we're going to do it every day because the journey.
But you, sorry to cut you, you got to a point where you went on a music mission, I feel like. Like you just decided, boom, I'm kind of on traveling, doing whatever I got. Like you started, bro, like a lot of the reasons why I wanted you on is because you've done a lot of things early. Even you still will, you won't come on here and even talk your shit how I would want you to, in the sense of like, you started doing the networking thing way out of your comfort zone where a lot of men weren't really doing that yet. Man weren't working with a man from over there, up north. It weren't really happening, do you know what I'm saying? What inspired that? Like, what got you to the point of moving to East, and then how did the Bangles thing happen?
I tell you what it is. Do you know what? It all connects back to the streets because when the ends is fire, man, go OT.
Yeah.
Go OT, meet different people. You're going and you're networking and you're realizing how the mindset is completely different in certain places. You get what I'm trying to say? So I don't know. Like Peckham is just a jungle, bro. You know, like in Peckham, it wasn't necessarily about, like, it was just, the man was just on badness. It's just a bag of savages, you get me? And there's different parts in London that was on different things. Some men were just on making sure they look clean.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There's some parts that are on the trappers, there's hella trappers in the ends, but really badness run the ends. You get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like when man went around East, I don't know, I've then not only gone around East, I've gone around Bangles, so I've tapped into the Asian community.
Yeah.
Bangles is taking me to a different world, you get what I'm trying to say? And this isn't like a different world like in the industry, he's bringing me around big artists and whatnot. He's taking me to his community.
Yeah.
And Bangles' people are business people, so he's bringing me, the brothers are renting out cars and shit from areas. So I've seen that earlier, you know what I'm trying to say? Now, all of us got brethren that do shisha lounges and got cars.
The Asians are ahead of the game on that.
They were on that from
Early. And their parents, they set them up different, yeah.
I'm trying to say, they were doing that early. So that's the first time I'm seeing that sort of stuff. And I feel like all of that definitely played a part. Big up Bangles, because he probably didn't realize, because he would tell you from the first time Bangles met me compared to what he ended up seeing eventually, he saw a complete different. The first time, he's like, you traveled from south to east with that. You get
But then, all right, cool.
Man.
So you see, something I want to ask you, yeah, and I want you to break this down if it's true anyway, yeah. I feel like you grew up in the trenches, you're from the trenches, that's what you know. But at the same time, where I resonate is I feel like you always had a different mindset. Right. So everyone around you.
Right.
Yeah, so you see for me, same shit, same end, same everything. Obviously not yard, but same shit. Right. And he will tell you as well, because we grew up together, like I always loved the man them to bits, loved everything. Like man will come back here, first stop true flavor, I love it. But my mindset's always known that this ain't it.
Right.
And I feel like I see that in you. But I feel like most people in your position won't talk on that because it's not cool to talk on that.
Right.
Because man got to tell the trench tale. The trench tale never involves you not wanting to really be in it.
Right.
You're meant to have embraced it, and this is what it is, right? But I feel like you had moments where you looked around and thought, this ain't it.
Right.
Right or wrong?
No, 100%. Do you know what it is, fam? I'm from the core of the trenches. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, remember when I've moved to the UK, I'm expecting a better life.
I'm having enough. Man, I'm all the best, man having enough.
So we made it out. Like, it was one, like where I grew up in Jamaica, there was a lot of things that I was numb to from, all right, before I ever stepped foot in Peckham, I've seen my uncle's brain blown out already. Yeah. You get what I'm trying to say? And he is not a bad boy. Yeah. He's the good uncle. You get what I'm saying? So I've already seen life show me shit that it's made happen to people who I feel don't deserve it.
But how do you deal with that? I wasn't even going to get to this early because I want to touch on Jamaica in a sec. Right. But you've mentioned too much pain for me to not. Right. How did you deal with that? Because before you even answered that...
I don't remember, because I'm young. This is before I've come to England.
But all right, not even so much then, yeah. But I tell you why, yeah. Like, and you see some of my content, you know the type of stuff I'm talking about. I've spent years and years undoing a lot of habits, right? Pain, trauma, things we think are normal, mindsets, bare things, yeah? Because we grow up in survival mindset, and for me to have become successful in business, I had to undo all of that, yeah, as we all do. What was your process like that? There must have been a time where you had to sit and work out, because you come across as a very happy brother. Right. You come across very positive. You come across very like, especially now, I know you appreciate everything because of what you've been through, but at the same time, you don't carry a bad energy compared to all the things you've been through. I know man been through half of that and then walk in the room and it feels like murder, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So how have you been able to put some of that to ease and cut through, basically?
I'm not gonna lie, fam, it's a full-time job. You get me? And it's only recently when my little brother in with me, that because someone's there, it's weird because he's my brother, innit? So even though he's there, it's like he's not there. But it's the first time someone's been there on my day-to-day and seen how much I do in order to be that person you see. You get what I'm trying to say? And he's made me realize, fine, like he said, I don't know how the fuck you do it. You get what I'm trying to say? But it takes a lot. It's not an easy task for me to do, but if I walk in the room and it feels heavy, no one's gonna want me in that room again. You get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that's something that I've learned through family in general. Like one of my older brothers, he walks in the room and it just feels heavy. You get what I'm trying to say? And because of that, it restricts the rooms that he's in. And now he's just in a one room for years. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, I just learned quickly. You see, like celebrities have always been like a myth to people. It's like, right, in my family, there's, when you grow up in the trenches, there's different tiers to celebrity. You get what I'm trying to say? Like whoever the Kim Kardashian would be to a new generation, and there's someone in the ends that we viewed like that.
Yeah, of course.
You get what I'm trying to say? So, I don't know. For me, it's almost like you have to see what makes you the way you are, and also see what you don't normally gravitate to as a person. You get what I'm trying to say? And then take that and just apply that to the way you are as a person, fam, because I don't know.
Have you had therapy?
Yeah, of course.
A lot of the
No, I'd say I did therapy. The first time I did therapy was when I got back to the UK, because I went through a lot in the 5 years in Jamaica, you get me? And I knew if I'm returning to the UK at this point, so my daughter was about to be born. And I don't know. I just know I've gone through so much shit. And I'm a master suppressor. Like, I can suppress anything, you get what I say? And I know it's something that I do, and I can do and cut through and all of that, but I just never wanted to vision me taking out everything I suppressed on my child at the wrong time. So the moment I knew I've got a daughter on the way, it's like, then cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, I started really weighing up my whole discography, and it's like, then cool, whoever I got problems with, is this really a problem? And I started I've reached out to ops, like, is it still a problem? You get what I'm trying to say? And more that I've managed to rekindle like a good friendship from one of my good brethren that we fell out when we was younger, you get me? And through me doing that, we rekindled and realized that really what we were having problems about was nothing, you get what I'm trying to say? And all of the stuff that we went through as friends in the time that we were friends, it ain't worth me and them trying to kill each other over, you get what I'm trying to say? So I'd say my daughter played a big part in all of it, bro, you get me? That in that time frame when I knew she was coming, I'm like, whatever it is that I don't know how to deal with, I need to find a way how to deal with it. Obviously, in our community, when you think therapy, it's just like, what am I gonna do? Be spending my money or just telling my business to a stranger, you get me? That's how I
think of it, 100.
My thing is, bro, I've wasted money on less. If I do it, and I feel like I've wasted my money, then I won't do it again. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna not do it.
What did you think you got from it? Was it really beneficial for you?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Everyone's different. I can only talk on my personal experience. I think everyone I know need to do therapy.
100%.
Every single one of my friends, therapy sessions is now a birthday gift.
100%.
Therapy sessions to my
100%.
book your block session.
No, I love that. That's the new flick.
Nah, like 100 bit. You know it is. Even though you're speaking to some, there's just no judgment.
Yes.
Because you're chatting to somebody who don't know you, and it's more the questions they ask you. If you know me personally, there's certain things you're just not gonna ask because maybe you already know. But I need to be asked it so that I can answer, which will give me a different perspective. To what I've always viewed the situation to be. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'd always advise our people that grew up in certain circumstances to go and definitely do therapy for sure.
You know those cringy parts of the YouTube videos where they stop right in the middle and they start to sell you something? This is that part. If you're building a business or building a brand and you want to understand how to make that profitable or learn how to make money from sales, drop me a message, we can work together and I'll help you smash that goal.
When you was going through that period of going to Jamaica, obviously where a lot of the, like, I wouldn't say the pain started, but that's a whole nother level of pain, because you've been, because the thing is, bro, you see what you've been through, I look at it all from a psychological level, and you see placement, like, as humans, it can have such a big effect on us. Like, taking someone out of the environment, and these are real experiences that people actually do on humans. Like, what's happened to you, someone does in a lab, bro. These things really happen with animals and stuff, really happen. So you've been taken out of a place that you've become comfortable from, or originally, let's go back to that one, then put in another place, then you become comfortable again, then taken out of that and put in another place, The displacement issues must be through the roof. The attachment issues must be through the roof because you don't know whether you're coming or going. So now let's talk about like that process of going to Jamaica. Like I said, I don't really want to touch on what happened. I more want to touch on like, what was that like mentally? Because now someone's coming along and saying to you, you've got to go back to where you came from. And I remember seeing you say somewhere like, that's where I came from, I didn't connect with it. So what was that like? How did that go?
Do you know what it is? Like, throughout my life, prior to being removed from the UK and sent back to Jamaica, I've always attached to the Jamaican culture. I've never looked in the mirror and thought I was British, ever. You get what I'm saying?
Is it?
Never, ever, ever. My household is a yardman household.
Your family was still very Jamaican.
Very, very much so. You get what I'm trying to say? really and truly, I'd say Leon, Auntie Precious, if you know Auntie Precious, you know what I'm saying? Auntie Precious and them not really are linked to the UK side of the family.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Because my cousin's then married to a British youth. So now the families have emerged. But really, in my household, it's just Jamaica. Really.
Yeah.
You get me? So I've never thought I'm British, but I just didn't understand the paperwork side of stuff, whether it's legal or illegal, you get me? So I knew I couldn't travel to certain places, but yeah, I always knew I was Jamaican, long story short. I think what reached me, right, is I got to an age where I started just becoming numb to certain things. Because me being removed from the UK, it's not the first time I've seen it. I've never experienced it firsthand, but by the time I've been removed, I know 5, 6, 7 people personally who I've seen was here today and been removed from the UK and have never made it back.
I've got to say, especially Peppermint.
They're off.
Especially Peppermint.
You understand what I'm saying? Once they're off and chat.
Yeah, 100%.
Every year, I'm back next year. And next year never happens. So it's like, I'm about to go through what they're going through. But at no point, bro, at no point did I feel like I'm not going to make it back to the UK. You get me? I don't know.
So when you first went, and this is kind of like, for me, like my juiciest bit, because this is the bit I said to you before, obviously I related to, like, when obviously, I can never compare it. I willingly moved to Dubai, like it's a luxury place, I'm not going to say and compare, but what did you go through from the point of, you was popping, bro, everyone was on your phone, everyone wanted to collab, everyone wanted to feature, like you was the guy, innit, yeah? And then I saw from an outside point of view, again, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the industry, and we'll cut the crap here, we said it before, like the industry is, if you know the industry, is very fugazi. Like a lot of the relationships are built based on what's beneficial to you right now, who's popping right now. If I stand in a vid with my man, it helps my brand, yeah? Going through that period of going to Jamaica, you must have then, the curtains must have been drawn, like it must have been, you know what I'm saying? The skirts were pulled up. How did that feel for you? What did you go through from a friendship point of view to a business point of view? Like what changed in regards to, you was just here the other day and now you're not, a man still calling you? Right. A man still shouting you? Like what was the support unit like? Like what happened?
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. I had my main support system, which didn't consist of a lot of people. And outside of that, like 80% of the people that I knew, personally and in business, disappeared. And it didn't happen immediately. It was gradual, innit? It's like the first week you're in Jamaica and the news is viral, everyone wants to help you. And then as time goes, you realize it's less and less people. But like I said to you, like I was in Jamaica for 5 years. So through that time frame, of course, I developed a list of people that when I run into you, the next time I run into you, you get me? For sure, but I don't know. I'm glad that, to be fair, I got to big up Trim. Trim made me get rid of that list because Trim made me realize that really and truly, it's not that the industry is fake or fugazi. It's you feel that it is because of the relationship you thought you had with this person.
Let's talk about it.
But in business, the reality to it is this. We have marketing and we know that if this product associates with this person or this product, there's more eyes that can go onto the product, you get what I'm trying to say, and then we can scale it, etc., etc. So really, you only feel away when the person that's doing that to you, you thought they were your friend. But if you know this is a business transaction, you won't feel a way about it because as artists, we do it all day long. GRM has how many different, how many subscribers, Link Up TV, SBTV. As artists, we went on these channels because they had more subscribers than we did on our personal channel. So we know that if we put up a video on their channel, there's a high chance of it getting more exposure.
100%.
What does that mean? Does Rashid, should he take that personal and say
which is why when the people were giving them backlash, I kind of saw the other side about them monetizing. It's like you just said, you go on there for exposure.
Bro, listen to what I'm saying to you. Them man, if them man are monetizing in however way any of these channels are monetizing, from Link Up TV, I'll say the originals, the Link Up TV, GRM, SBTV. If them are monetizing from us as artists, obviously a conversation need to be had, but they should monetize.
Yeah.
They should.
It was a two-way relationship.
When I was bumping into Jamal and Rashid at events and even bucking into Posty at certain events, these men were there building their brand.
100%.
And it's all good to say what you want to say about it now, but how are they supposed to earn?
100%.
You get
100%. Yeah.
You get me? Obviously, I stand on realness, so a conversation needs to be had so that every party is aware of what's
and educated on how the business works.
right. But them man definitely need to monetize. What do you mean? They've made millionaires.
100%.
It's not no like myths. Like there's artists that's gone on from SBTV, GRM Daily, and Link Up TV that have turned into multi-million.
Biggest art, some of the big, even if we have to include Ed Sheeran, like some of the biggest artists we've ever seen.
Right, so if these channels are going to monetize from us, a conversation needs to be had, but I feel like they definitely should if we're going to use
100%. How did that feel going, like, because look at that time, to be honest, social media wasn't, it was still popping, but those platforms were a big part of the growth for you as artists, everyone, So going over there and not being able to go down the road and do a daily duppy, go down the road and do it behind bars, like, what was that process like for you? Like, where did the pivot come? Like, where did you work out, like, bro, I'm gonna have to just make it work?
You know what's mad? I always tell people, like, I did 5 years out there, and it's like for 2.5 years, I was in a mental prison, right? Because within the first 2.5 years, I was still doing daily duppies in yard. Like, I'm like, so however...
As in with GRM?
Yeah, I'll film it myself out here. I did the production.
Travs told me about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Travs told me about that.
You know what I'm saying? I'll do the production. I've seen you lot do it because I've done it. I'll get a tripod. My man's going to move the camera from left to right. You understand? It might go blurry a few times. If it's wrong, we'll do it again. But I need a daily duppy. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, I'm not going to forget about it. By force. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm pretty sure I've done the only daily duppy.
Oh, it was out there, yeah?
Bro, I've done my daily duppy in Ochi, in Jamaica. Hey, man, you know what I'm putting it. You're gonna forget me. You get me? I don't need to be the most popping, but I'm not going cold turkey. Yeah, I'm trying to say. So my thing is, every now and then, you still need to see my name. I don't care if you click it. You get what I'm trying to say? But you still need to see my name because I knew the day was gonna reach when I'm back. And it can't be like, raw, remember my man. It's more like, raw, my man's back. You at least need to know what the fuck I'm doing.
So you thought that from the jump?
100%.
There was no time where you mentally tapped out? Or you
all that happened, the transition between my mental tap out was England. And then I tapped out. And
that's happened to me.
I'm gonna go to England, but I'm in Jamaica.
First, yes.
You know what I'm in Yungen. And then through there, that's when everything happened. That's when I started writing different. That's when I started seeing things completely different because now it's like, all right, cool. What I know is all to do with England, but I'm in a new place. You get what I'm trying to say? And the way I am, bro, I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge because I needed to be in order to survive where man survived. You get what I'm trying to say? So if I'm here, there's so many different things I could soak up if I pay attention. You get what I'm trying to say? If I'm in Jamaica right now, why would I just be focusing on England?
Yeah, that happened to me. It happens to a lot of us. When we go to Dubai, one of my friends come and said, like, bro, you're never going to really dominate what you've got in front of you. I wasn't looking at what I had in front of me. And I feel like that's probably what happened there. So then you got to the period now where you was like, all right, cool, I'm in Jamaica.
Right.
What happened then?
Once I got to that stage, it's like, all right, cool, how can I use this to my advantage? So it's like, okay, cool. I saw Link Up TV was doing like a 24 hours with certain artists. Again, that's what I'm saying. I'm fully aware of what's happening in the scene and finding my own way to still be involved. So it's like, then cool. I remember them doing a 24 hours. I think it might have been with C-Biz. And I remember reaching out to Rash and I'm saying, Rash, we should do a 24-hour thing, but in yard. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you look forward, fly over here, we'll make it happen. And basically, the 24-hour turned into like a 40-minute, well, we've cut it down to 40-minute documentary. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, because that first day, when I first got to Jamaica, it took maybe like a year or so before I went to where I was from. Like, I stayed alone. I didn't connect with nobody. and Link Up TV captured the first day I went back to where I came from. You get it? So that documentary is on YouTube now. It's called Sankofa.
So Link Up stayed riding with you then?
Right.
Yeah.
But even then, that's what I'm saying. That's why I got a big up Rash, because I shot. This is a whole next story. But long story short, I think just before I went to Jamaica, quick story. I'm in the middle of the campaign for my project that I'm putting out or whatever. Link Up have come. We shot the video in Lewisham actually. And we shot the video, and I feel like these men have lost the footage. So I'm in yard now. I'm reaching out to Rashid. Rashid's not getting back to me.
No, Rashid, we got the moments, man.
This is my first moment with Rashid.
Everyone's had
I'm a man, when I'm in England, if I phone Rash picks up second ring. You get what I'm trying to say? So it was a bit different for me. I'm in Jamaica, I'm messaging, I can't. He's redeemed himself now. I'm going to keep mentioning that. But at that point, I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? This is the first time I'm like, a man really... Are you not all right? Now, wait, imagine it.
That's when you start feeling a bit helpless.
Bro, do you know what it is? It's when it said red. It's when the message, I see the man's read the message.
What man your scene's running about, man?
I'm so, this is crazy. But as time's gone on, Rash has redeemed himself because for me, him coming out, even in the fact that they came out, there was a whole big risk, bro. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, they come out there, they filmed it, I brought them to the, you get what I'm trying to say? It could have gone a whole different way, and through that we managed to capture footage that I could never get back. You can't pay for that shit. You get me? So
that footage is gone.
No, it's still there. It's still there. Like I said, people can go, if you type Cashh Sankofa documentary, see that, and now that's a good thing for people to go and see, because at that point I don't know when I'm getting back to the UK. But I know I'm getting back. You get what I'm saying?
So you knew the whole time you was getting back.
Of course. Bro, do you know what it is? I work off of energies. When I was there, it didn't feel like my story ends here. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It just feels like, it felt like, all right, cool, you're here now. This is your version of 50 Cent getting shot 9 times.
There has to be a comeback.
So it's like, all you gotta do is make it through this shit. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but I know I get back to England at some point. And it's not like I'm there saying that in my head. I'm obviously going through the legal process of how to make that happen. I was gonna say, what were some of the hardest times in that process? Like, I'd say,
like, give us a specific, like, what? Because all right, before you even answer that, I had again, I'll never compare because it's a more of a luxury transition. But the transition for me going to Dubai, the first few months didn't really feel real. Then, like after maybe like 6 months, or a man does something wrong, or you start realizing, man didn't pick up the phone, etc. Then you get to the point where you go through your own shit, and then you can feel mad lonely in that process because your people are not there. No matter what is there, the people that you would normally have lent on left and right, they're not there, Right. So some of the worst periods for me were things that hair would have been light work, but there was no one there to go through it with. What was your version of that?
I had loads, bro. I had loads, but the one I always talk about is the last 10 months before I got back. That was the hardest. The 5 years, it's like, I don't know. The last 10 months is when I've won my case now. And I say, so I know I'm 100% getting back, but the last 10 months, I'm waiting for them to phone me to return my passport with the visa in it. But they're just not phoning. They were supposed to phone within 2 weeks of my court case. And it took them 10 months, but I don't know it's going to be 10 months. Every day,
you're just in the dark.
I'm just in the dark, and I think throughout that time, it's like at least I was working towards something throughout the most time, that the majority of the time I was in yard, trying to get back. But when I know that I've won to get back now, and you lot still ain't phoning me, it's fucking with me mentally, because it's like, this is when the devil came out. You get me? And I don't know, just mentally, I feel like I went into a place where I was almost trying to sabotage it for myself. You get me? Because it's like, it's almost like I know what was on the other side. Like, even now, bro, like, when I got back in 2019, I took 7 months planning how to just get my rollout right. And then I'm glad I did that, but what that did is that didn't give me a lot of time before the world changed with COVID. Like, so no, I haven't really managed to flex properly.
You have been through a mad... Like, I can't lie, bro, I can't lie, man.
At any point you're going to get back to England, you get back and there's COVID, fam. You get me?
What the fuck?
It's mad.
So, all right, cool. So that's all happened. All right, cool. You dealt with that, how you've had to deal with that. Over there, like, it's just a touch on over there. Like, what was the adjustments like? Like, what? Give us like the smallest change. Like, for example, like something that was massively different, but you didn't realize that it was a privilege.
Prior to me getting sent to Jamaica, right? This is when music is just starting to get there. We have a schedule now. So between the man them had different days where they drop me to places whether that's studio. So essentially I had drivers. I had a driver for each day, basically.
Right. Team as well. Music.
Right. That's the team, right? So that's just between the man them.
Yeah.
They're doing other things other than driving.
Yeah, of course.
I'm so young, I'm not driving.
Yeah.
So the major adjustment was going to yard and taking public transport.
Yeah.
Because in England, when you book a taxi, it's just you in the taxi.
Yeah.
In Jamaica, it's you and whoever is going in that direction.
Yeah, back that stops, isn't it?
That was the biggest adjustment from like, and I've ended up, the first place I went to was Trelawney. So I'm in the countryside, bro. And I mean, like, this is like a 4-seater car and there's like 8 people in there. And it's mad. You get what I'm trying to say? The boot is open.
Yeah.
People in the boot. So I think that was the biggest transition for me. Getting back into public transport because it had been so many years since I even took bus in England. Now I'm back in Jamaica, I'm taking public transport and it's by force.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? It's like I could hire out a taxi for myself, but then what am I gonna do for the next couple of days?
Yeah.
So I had to, that then taught me how to budget and all of that type of stuff. And again, I'm in the taxi knowing I'm not gonna be in this forever. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's almost like I'm my own advisor at the same time. It's like, bro, like, yes, you're not comfortable with this person squashing your leg right now, but you're going to get out of the taxi in 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Was you in full music mode out there?
Yeah, in my house, but outside, no.
Just normal living?
Yeah, outside, I missed people not knowing who I was. So
as in you preferred it?
Yeah. So I tried to not make anyone know that I done music. I'd do the videos.
Did it ever get back there? Were there local man that maybe knew someone back home and?
Yeah, no, of course. But that's how I wanted you to find it.
Yeah.
Like if you find it that way, that's calm. I am who I am, innit?
Yeah.
Like remember, I'm on the island. When I first got on the island, I ain't connected with nobody yet. I'm not trying to tell you I'm this big UK rapper.
Yeah.
On the island. This is before I've situated myself and made sure that I could protect myself in the way that I could protect myself. After that, I didn't really care, but I strategically didn't tell Jamaica that I'd done music because what I did is literally I started from scratch. I got in the streets out there. You get me?
Yeah,
so
which you have to.
All my links that I made was basically through that. You get me? Like, and then it's after years, like enough of the artists out there and all of that realize what I do. And they're like, bro, why didn't you say anything?
Did you know the artists just from organically?
That's what I got to know them organically.
And then it was like, okay.
I never ever told them. I've never told none of the artists that man know in Jamaica. I've never said to them I rap.
Yeah.
They've discovered on their own accord and then said to me, why didn't you tell me? You get me? And my thing is, everyone's an artist when they get to chat to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that other person. You get what I'm trying to say? So I think that helped them to develop respect for me because it's like you've been around me in certain situations and I didn't even know you are who you are. How they discovered, like even how Popcorn discovered is when the man them fly to yard and you see how they greet me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you know Cashh?
Yeah.
You get me? So
what was it like seeing the scene flourish so much while you was out there?
I loved it, man. I'm not gonna lie, fam.
I think I heard you say that.
Do you know what? I swear to God, fam. Yeah, let's talk about it because when you're someone who's confident in who you are, like me, you see me, fam. I'm confident in who I am as a person. I know my flaws. I know my strengths. One thing Jamaica taught me, fam, is I am not a hater. Because you can lie to yourself. You can tell yourself that you're not a hater. But if you are a hater, you will know the moment you saw someone doing something and you felt a way about it. I've never experienced that in my life, bro. Every single one of the men that I saw thriving, fam, I was genuinely happy, fam. Like I'm proper. But again, it could be because I know I'm coming here to reap the benefits. Do what you're doing for now. To scrape up as much as you're going to scrape up. Because I'm coming back over there at some point. You get me? But at no point did I feel like, raw, fuck, man, that should be me or that could have been me or nothing like that. You get me? Like, at no point at all. Like, I felt really happy. And for me, remember I started so young, I wasn't just seeing the progress of artists. I'm seeing like the industry people. I'm seeing the person I saw was grabbing tea for this person is now the head of this place. And you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just thinking, wow, when I get back, everything's going to be patterned then because I know this person and that person. And prior to me leaving, I didn't know anyone in these positions.
So, what about from because I think what we expected from the outside was like you would go there and to stay relevant, you do bare features.
Right.
That's what you expected. You expect a man to go there, do bare. But you didn't go that route, which I think is now obviously happy you didn't go that route.
It makes sense long term for why I didn't go that route.
Yeah. Did you see it like that though?
Do you know? Yeah, 100%. Do you know what it is, bro? Like, I live a real life. You get what I'm trying to say? We're talking about, I just got sent from a country all I knew was England. Like, as much as I was writing, my thing is not to put this out. And like, even while I was there, loads of different publications wanted to do the documentary and like,
yeah, I can imagine.
I'm like, fam, you lot want to do this as a Saturday night entertainment thing for you, but I got to live with it on Sunday night and one
try to rub you up.
Tuesday. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, I had to be very strategic with the things that I did. You get me? Because also, I don't know, the way man grew up, I apply my primary education to everything that I do now. And my primary education is in the trenches. That's where I first learned everything. You get what I'm trying to say? My school's in the trenches, so that's a part of it, because you learn what to do and what not to do on your way and after school. So I apply that to everything that I do now, and the reality to it is I wouldn't just reach out to somebody because I know they're making peas in the streets like that. I would have to know you. There'd have to be some sort of mutual link to you. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's like, I'm going to work on those mutual links. And a lot of those mutual links could take 6 months. It could take 6 days. It could take 6 hours. You get me? My thing is I'm going to go that route rather than come through the route of like, I'm this artist, because I'm also developing what the fuck I want to talk about. I don't even know, what am I going to talk about right now?
That's another thing, innit?
What am I going to make? A club song? I just got dipped. What am I going to talk about? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, what am I going to say?
Making club songs
you get right. You get what I'm trying to say? How do I even feel? Enough times, do you think you feel some sort of way, but is that how you actually feel, fam?
All right, so talk to us about finding a new sound. So cool, you're in Jamaica now. You spent your time, like you started, obviously, when did you link up with Deany? How far into your
I think maybe 2017, you know.
How many years is that?
I got there 2014.
About 3 years in.
3 years.
So this is you just obviously being in the studio, like working at your craft, maybe trying to work out a new sound?
No.
Was it intentional?
I tell you where it was. So I got to that stage where basically none of the producers are sending me rhythms.
Yeah, of course, So now you lot aren't sending me rhythms no more. Cool.
You get me? I'm not gonna badge you up over the phone. You get what I'm trying to say? So I started teaching myself how to produce. And the first batch of beats are shit, the second batch shit, the third batch shit, the fourth batch, you get me?
Of course.
But eventually I'm like, they're cool, we're getting somewhere now. And I think what happened with Deany is he's ended up linking man at the perfect time. I didn't know Deany prior to going to Yard.
You
get me? It's like,
but you're from the same area though.
From the same end, you get me? But didn't know him. So when he's reached out because he's seeing that the producers aren't sending the beats no more. You get what I'm saying? So he's reached out on some like whatever I could do to help. I'm like, this is perfect, cool. I started this beat, finish it for me if you can, please.
Where was so this bit we're gonna really go back and forth on, because this is where like especially the last 2-3 years is when I've really dived deep into the music, especially because it stood out to me, because like back then everyone was saying to kind of sounding the same. But in the last 2-3 years your identity's been clear, and like I said, I related to it and I love the sound. So where did we get to the point there where it was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna work with this guy and create a new sound? Or did that happen by accident?
No, that just happened organically. Nothing happens by accident. Like, enough of the times when things don't work out with somebody, it's just so that it could work out with someone else. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, I feel like that's been a part of my career. I always build with someone next to me. So whenever I speak, do you know what I mean? My early career is me and Bangles. And then my DJ is DJ Kenny. Kenny's my DJ. You get what I'm trying to say? I always build with people.
Kenny All-Star.
That's my DJ. So all them shows we was talking about earlier in the morning. Y'all call me up. Got show. It's Kenny that's at the rings playing those. You get me? So
it's true.
I always build with a team, and it always happens organically. So it wasn't like me and Deany had a conversation about what the sound should be.
Yeah.
I'd say what I have to give Deany props for is he made me pay attention more to tapping into like doing music with my yard accent. I've always been doing it. Y'all call me up. I've always said things. If him did bad, where him run for? Where you think him get bun for? I've been saying.
But I feel like when you go back to Jamaica, it's more certain.
Right. You get what I'm trying to say? But that was his thing was like, bro, you're there. Like,
yeah, why not play?
Yeah, I'm trying to say. Whereas I just know how to rap in a UK accent. So I'm just rapping, but that's the role he played.
But had you ever done music in a Yardie accent before?
Yeah, of course.
What, before you came to Elm?
Yeah, well.
Not really, because you decided.
Nah, alright, it's cool. So when I started in the UK, like if you go to my early stuff, you'll always hear certain bars where I'll flip it in my patois. You get what I'm trying to say? But now we're talking, I've got songs where I'm not rapping on them at all. That's been a journey. You get what I'm trying to say? That's been a transition, and I feel like, obviously Jamaica did that. Of
course.
You get me?
That pivot you've now taken, because now it's a little bit more, I don't want to say singing, it's just vibey, it's more rhythm.
Yeah, it's more melodic.
It's more, exactly.
Yeah.
What I feel like that is what has now, number one, created a sound for you, but number two, I feel like you've merged Jamaica with rap here. Right. Do you feel anyone else has done that?
I feel like people have definitely done that and attempted it, but I am, and I could say it confidently on camera because it is where it is and there's no one that could say it. It's not. I am the 50-50 balance of both, you get what I'm trying to say? Because there's artists that can make the yard stuff, but then they can't rap like I can rap. And there's rappers that can rap and then wave a little yard thing, but they can't make the yard stuff as full on as I can.
Yard stuff.
You get what I'm trying to say? And I wasn't always able to do this.
Yeah.
That's what my 5 years did for me. You get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that's basically what the sound is. The sound is it's a cinematic 50-50 of dancehall and UK rap.
When you came back, what was the plan when you actually came back? When you said, all right, cool, because I think the first one I saw of you was you linked Bangles. Obviously, it wasn't the first one you did, but on camera was like the first thing you linked Bangles. What was the plan?
Right, so the first 3 months, I structured what was going to happen prior to me getting back to the UK. Once I knew, because like I said, that 10 months, in hindsight, it was long, but it gave me time to plan what we was going to do. You get me? So I knew first 3 months I'm carving out for family, because obviously I'm returning as a dad now as well. So I need that time. My daughter knew me that I'm on FaceTime while she's in the hospital. You get me?
So your daughter's born here?
Yeah, all my children are born in the UK. Okay. So I'm on FaceTime. You know, it was supposed to be on FaceTime in the hospital like that. You get me?
While they were being born.
Right. So while she was born, she's a baby, like she knows who her dad is, innit? So obviously I'm returning now. It's the first time we're actually meeting. And I met my daughter just after her first birthday. So I missed her first birthday. And this was a part of the 10-month problem, because when I've won my court case, my lawyer is saying basically I'll be able to leave in 2 weeks. So obviously that means I'll be able to get there for her first birthday. And they just took so long, I missed that. So that played another part. You get me? But getting back, it's like, cool, I'm going to carve out at least the first 3 months to make sure that that's family. I don't want no one to know that I'm here, because people are fickle, and the moment they understand that I'm here, that will go viral. But then if I'm not prepared to keep that viral moment, then that's it. My man's back and then he's done.
What made you clock that? Because that's a very smart thing you just said, like, but a lot of people wouldn't think like that. Most people would be like, bang, I'm back.
Do you know where it is? Throughout,
I feel like you've always had a
market. Do you know what it is? The 5 years, bro. Like, there's so many things that I did that, because life is so fast now, I don't even remember how much I did. But I was literally, every day was dedicated to preparing me for now. So much things have happened. Like I've done marketing courses at Berkeley University while I was in Jamaica, like online courses, and passed them and shit. Like,
I've done practical experiments.
That's why I see conversate someone almost random content. I'm like, bro, what's he about?
You get what I'm trying to say, bro? Like, I did all of these things because I knew this is what it's gonna take for me to get back in this place and make people care.
Yeah,
you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
very smart.
I know what my musical abilities are, but I know that's not enough.
That's not enough. Yeah,
So why would I rely on that? You get what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna be able to make the tunes and make them sound how I want to make them sound. I'm always gonna be inspired. Enough artists suffocate themselves because they don't want to be inspired by nothing. Are you all right, fam? You're a human being, fam.
Yeah.
You can hear something. Like if someone hears a song and say to me like, rah, that reminds me of such and such artist. You think I'll ever say it's not? I find I just find you weird when you're blatantly saying something where we can all hear that was inspired by that man. But
And creativity, you're allowed.
because of your pride, you don't want to say it was inspired. I can say that. I could say, right, yes, that's inspired by my man. I heard him flow in that way, and that's inspired me to flow in this way.
Talking about inspiration, I wasn't even gonna go there, but who would you say, if we're looking at the style you got now, who inspires that?
I think it's a big melting pot of bare different
I
artists.
got a couple in my mind. I want to hear you.
Go on,
say.
yeah, you tell me your one.
I'd say there's a wretch in there.
Yeah, I'd say maybe on the lyrical side.
Inspiration. I think that's by accident.
Do you know what?
think
With
it's
the
just the
Rich,
Yardman thing.
I tell you where it is with Rich, because Rich is really tapped into the Yardman stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't think it's.
But early,
listen as
but
well.
early Rich, I tell you what's in there is early Rich. I salute the general Rich. Rich makes you care about how you put your words together.
Yes, 100%.
Because no one, this is what I'm saying. Rich can go on any, just like I could just confidently say what I just said.
Yeah.
Rich can go on any platform and say, lyrically, he is one of the best, if not the best, in our scene. And he can say that and stand on that. You know what I'm trying to say? So, same way he could say that, that's where his bit of inspiration might have forwarded from. You get me? He isn't somebody that I could consciously say, like, Rod, I was listening to bare different Rich.
No, I don't think that.
But because I'm a student of the game, I know what the difference was when there was the Tinchy era and the N-Dubs era, and then when there was the Tiny Temper era, and then when there was the Wretch era. It's like, it's the same commercial tunes, but he's using punchline in different ways. You get what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, definitely Wretch is in there for sure. Who else you have?
There's one more. Obviously, it's slightly controversial here, but I hear it sometimes.
No one's controversial.
Devious.
100%.
I hear Devious sometimes.
That's
still.
not controversial.
Yeah,
100%.
like for me personally, I'm a Devious fan regardless.
A million percent. But let me tell you something. That's not controversial. I can say that on camera. That's not controversial. DV is definitely, and you know what it is as well? The first time I worked with DV, I didn't realize that like word was getting black to him. But when he was doing a stretch at the time or whatnot, and he was saying like, out of the new generation coming through. So this is at that new generation he's referring to would have been me, Sneakbo, Krept Konan, Yungen. You were running that era there.
Of course,
He 100% influenced the way man was writing, for sure, bro.
I don't think I really heard as much back then. I'm more talking about.
You see, if you listen then, you will hear that's played a part in how it's developed to now. You get what I'm saying? Because that's his. That's his thing.
So it comes from there. That's
There's a certain way. You get what I'm trying to say? How he portrayed his music. You get me? There's rapping and then there's rapping with a certain.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, 100% DV influence.
Who would you say?
Yeah, DV's in there. Gigs, I'd put Gigs in there because...
Really, yeah?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because my brother that I told you I was rapping, he was in America, innit? So when I first started rapping, I was rapping in an American accent, just like most of the people, right? Yeah. So Gigs was the first time I've heard a UK rapper rap like an American rapper, like slow. That's the first time I've heard I could do it like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I'd put that in there, and then also the ad-lib, like the Cashh ad-lib is a part of my whole thing. So that's his, that's his, is my Cashh. You get me? The way again, branding wise, it's like, cool, whatever my ad-lib is, whoever says it, it's going to be
I think it's stuck till now.
Of course. It's still in the song. So that's what it is. Enough time I'll be out, wherever man's touring or doing shows, you just hear people, Cashh. And for me, it's good because I knew from early that was to do with marketing, bro. You get me? It's like anyone that says the ad-lib, you're saying my name. You get me? So it's just another way of
tapping back in. And then obviously,
What about from Jamaica?
yeah, obviously from the yard side of stuff, everyone, bro, from Vibes Cartel, Movado, Popcorn, everyone, Beres Hammond, Dennis Brown.
I can't lie, in the recent stuff I hear a lot of old Beres.
You know where it is. You know where it is, bro. You see, all of us that grew up with that culture and heard those music, you have to realize that we are now the adults.
Yeah.
We're now the adults. If we don't keep this alive, the new generation won't know what the fuck is
So
it.
you've done it intentionally.
Of course.
Because I can't lie, there's no one now that has that vibe.
I have to have that essence.
Because man could play your music around the elders and it will, and certain of the recent
Right,
stuff.
but this is where it is. It's like I have to make sure I have music like that because my daughter is my biggest fan.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So for her, and she doesn't, her main tunes aren't necessarily all of the kids friendly ones, but she knows the music and knows the essence of music.
Yeah.
Her mum is a music connoisseur, so
Yes.
the same way how she grew up and just having a library in her mind, it's the same way my daughter's got a library in her mind, but it's just developing now. It just so happens my music's in there. You get me?
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that there's elements of everything to do with the music. You get me? Like making sure the bass line's in there, the melodies in there.
Are you hands-on with production?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Deany, I tell you what happens. Deany would do. Deany is now developed knowing what sort of sounds I like. So he'd send something. Most of the songs you hear, I do the arrangements. So I'll structure. So he'll send the beat, and I might chop the beat that's at the end, and put that for the intro, and then maybe put it for the I'll arrange.
It's a proper Drake and 40 type thing.
Yeah,
Big shout out to Deany as well because
Big up Deany, man, for sure.
like I feel like, as I said, he's a big part of this new sound. He's a big part of this new wave, and I feel like he's kind of helped to develop the next chapter for you. So now you're back, you got a run, you got a wave, like things are happening. What's the plan now? Like where? Because I still don't feel like you, in a good way, you don't fit in that UK rapper box. Like if I was marketing you, like I wouldn't be going for that either. Like I'd be, which I don't think you are. It would be just artists, international, global, and playing heavily off of your core fan base and realizing that one thing I put out there a lot is like your audience versus your following. Like only because you might have 100K followers, only 10K might be your audience, and they are important. Like that's something for me as a content creator. I don't care about the noise. I want to know who's rocking with me. Like what's your strategy now going forward?
Right, so now what's happened is we put out the While You Wait mixtape.
Yeah. I've been running that,
Right,
man.
right.
I messaged you on the wave on there with that.
Right, and that was just like a project to put out while the fans wait for After the Return. After the Return is the follow-up to Return of the Immigrant.
By the way, the Return of the Immigrant, Brian.
Right, let's talk about it.
Nah, man, I give you your flowers for that. Because, as I said, a lot of people aren't, obviously the show's called Brand Therapy. A lot of people don't take time to actually build their brand. And what I noticed that you done with that, bro, Return of an Immigrant, like it spoke for itself. And I was imagining about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, there was going to be a lot more to roll out from it, which I'm assuming is what you're going to go on to now.
Yeah, for sure. It's, do you know what it is? I've always said to the man them, right? And I don't know if I should say this on camera, but I'm going to say it because you know what I mean.
Crap, man.
But basically, it's like I've always, I don't know, bro. Like there's certain things that I have a certain level of self-belief that I've now realized isn't normal. You understand?
Yeah.
Before it's like I thought everyone was like this.
Yeah.
And now I'm realizing not everyone's like this. Like my level of I believe in me, bro. Like I believe in me
I feel like
to the highest level that you can believe.
You have not had a moment where you've come back and thought, I might not pop again.
Never. Are you alright?
Your whole thing is like, man's popping again.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is for me? I've done the 5 years, so I've seen the seed develop.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You get me? I know it seems like it's supposed to be a 2-minute thing. You're supposed to put something out and it changes your life.
That's where man go wrong though. That's what Wrong Murder's done.
You understand?
Yeah.
This is where you go wrong because you're feeling like people are going to care for more than 2 minutes. You get what I'm trying to say? There's too much things to care about. If you want people to care, the first thing you have to do is understand that not everyone's going to care no matter what the fuck you do.
100%.
It don't matter what your marketing plan is. It don't matter what your budget is. Not everyone's gonna care.
Yeah.
We are fortunate to be living in the times where we have data that could show us who cares. Cater to them.
Fact. 100%.
Everyone else, because you remember, whatever type of people that there are in the world, there are more types of people just like that.
In different parts. Bro, just connect with them, fam. Cut the crap, you know what I'm saying? Cut the crap and connect with them.
100%.
You get me? And that's all I'm doing. You get me? All I'm doing is I've realized that then cool. I've grown up in this thing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Man know me from in the streets to in music to getting sent to yard to returning now. You get what I'm trying to say? There's a lot of people that are aware of my story on different chapters, but do they care about me? Like, are they invested in the story? If they're not, I don't need to be catering to them.
Do you think moving away helped you learn that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course.
It's a good shake-up.
Bro, when you're here, you see the UK has a way of making everyone that's here feel like this is all that matters.
Yeah.
The validation that you get from the scene here, you feel like that is it, but it's not just a UK thing.
Yeah.
When the American rappers go #1, they say they're #1 in the world. These guys are not even in the UK chart.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Wherever your environment is, it's easy to get caught up and think that that is all that exists. My 5 years in Jamaica allowed me to realize that that doesn't happen.
100%.
Whenever you feel like you're whoever anywhere else, there's somewhere else where you're no one. You get what I'm trying to say? So if your plan is world domination, one location doesn't fame
100%.
I'm trying to say, bro.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it, man. 100%.
It doesn't phase you because you know what the bigger plan is.
Yeah.
If certain man,
all they see is one location. So if they got that, that's why I can't phase you. That's all your dream and your goal is to conquer. And you've done that, live that blood. You get
Yeah.
supposed to celebrate that. But for man, I feel like just over time, my goalpost keeps being pushed by me and just by life. Like, I communicate with my life enough times, man, and look, you've ended up in Dubai.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure years ago you never had a clue you was gonna end up.
Nah, not at
But
all.
it's life that's kind of pivoted you in that direction. And what you've done is response to it. Enough man get opportunities and don't respond to it.
Yeah.
They respond to shit that ended up making enough of us go jail and making enough of, you get what I'm trying to say? Because we just respond to the things that we think this is what we'll get instant gratifications from. The things that will take long, if a man tell you right now, bro, I'm gonna put you onto something, but it's gonna take like 5 years, though, man.
Cause I got red.
This is exactly why I needed him on the show. This is why I needed him on the show.
Cause you're telling me about a 5-year return, fam. You get what I'm trying to say?
100%.
And I've just realized, remember, you know, 5 years in anyone's life is a big time frame, bro.
Yeah.
From
A newborn baby to 5. My daughter is 5. I have serious convos with Nubia, fam. Like, I have proper, me and her driving.
Sick names.
When me and Nubia driving, we have serious convos. And obviously, I've seen that development. I've seen where her mind has developed to where she can ask me questions where I actually have to think about the answer.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, I apply that to anything I do.
Yeah.
People have to grow with you. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't just expect them to get it today.
100%.
And I think a lot of that is patience. People don't have patience. And I was forced to have patience in my situation. You get me? I was forced to have patience. No matter what I do, I couldn't just book a flight, and book a ticket and just get back to England.
Yeah.
I had to not just be patient, but I had to follow this. Bro, there's times that I've said on other platforms, there's times when we'll message them and they'll basically send back a letter saying don't contact us for another 30 days. You can't do nothing about that. You can. You can send another reply, but they're not going to respond. They done told you we're not responding to anything that you send to us until unless it's 30 days from the date from today. And they do that, and that's how 5 years has developed, because they'll do that. It could be 60 days.
Well, you just kept having that.
Yeah, you just have to, because anytime man that's how we manage to do what we're doing, because whatever they've put, we'll dismantle it.
Yeah.
And then they'll need time they'll buy themselves 30 days or 60 days to develop something else. But because I'm always working in advance and my support system is there, we're always prepared for whatever that they're gonna say. You get me? anyone that's in this immigration situation, they can out-time you and they can out-charge you. If you can survive those two things, yeah,
good.
it's just a matter of patience.
Nah, it's real shit. Real shit, man. Just to sort of wrap up on that, like, I can't lie, this is why I wanted you on the platform, because I know you need your space to talk your motivation and talk, man. Them other platforms, they don't let you.
I'm trying to say.
That's why now you can take them rules and be the motivational guy, you know what I'm saying? Keep your knowledge, but nah.
Speech stuff. You gotta book me for a speech.
But now you're back, obviously there's things coming, there's things rolling out. Is there a focus on other markets other than UK? So like, for example, is Jamaica actually a market you're now focused on?
No, do you know what's mad? We still haven't stand on the spotlight on Jamaica like that yet. What we've been doing is just planting the seeds organically. Same thing, like I said, you get me? Just
You've been really taking your time with a lot, innit? Because I feel like you, just from hearing you talk, like, and then hearing the music, like, I know you haven't even done like a large, but I feel like you're at like 20% of what you really got coming.
All right, this is what you have to boil it down to. Think collaborations that I've done, right? And then think of my peers, the same peers that I said I was on the forward up with. So Sneakbo, Krept Konan, Yungen.
What? Just to jump in there, yeah. What was the situation with Krept Konan back then? Was it just Bridgens? Was there actually a play dirty?
No.
situation?
So all right. So originally, them lot, Krept Konan had played dirty. And we mutually ended up around each other through Bangles.
Oh, yeah.
Which again, big up Young Meth, because
Young Meth was
100% sure, but I'm sure Meth linked me with Bangles. And
Meth was in the camera bang.
I think he linked Krept Konan with Bangles too, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But basically, me and them lot are around each other at that point. So it's really just a bridging thing, but where we've got the same fan base.
Okay, you
I'm trying to say, we've got their fans and my fans.
Yeah.
They get booked for something, I'm getting booked for it too. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So what happened is, I guess it's like if you book Krept Konan, Cassh might turn up.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? For free, so you don't have to book me.
Oh, is it?
You understand what I'm trying to say? So we were around each other that much, if that makes sense. You get me? And yeah, man, we lived in that studio practically. You get me?
What's that Bangles studio?
Slept on the floor, like, went through a lot of shit with them lot. Even until I don't.
You're still close now?
I don't remember. No, we're not as close now. But do you remember when they got their Otis freestyle? They had that 5 million views.
Yeah, cool.
Right. So in that time, this is where we're around each other the most.
Yeah.
At this stage, they've obviously got the hype of what's happening. This is the first time I'm seeing labels from everywhere.
Yeah,
flying in. And the difference between where I was and where Krept Konan and Sneakbo was, to be fair, even when I look at it now, all of them basically had the same manager. This was Vash at the time. And obviously Vash had the experience of managing Chip.
Of course, yeah.
Which then Vash then ended up managing Sneakbo. So if you see my peers, like basically Krept Konan and Sneakbo had experience with a manager that was already in the game. All of my management team has always been man from the trenches.
Yeah.
No links, no nothing.
Yeah.
You get me? Out of prison with a dream. This comes in. Fresh out of prison with a dream. That's been my team. You get me? So you can see the difference in where our careers went in the order that they went in as well because of that. You get me? So enough of the opportunities that these lot had, we never got. Because even that summer, when they've got the 5 million views, my sole responsibility, like, because we shared the time with Bangles in terms of the production, they've got studio with him. I made sure we basically turned it into making sure Krept Konan had their follow-up.
Yeah. After Otis,
Everything was dedicated to that.
Yeah.
A lot of music, I'm pretty sure a lot of music that these lot would never want the world to hear. That was trying to make, to capitalize on what was happening, you get me? So I guess through that, after a while, they asked me to join Play Dirty. But again, me thinking branding wise, I declined it because I wanted us to build separately and then perhaps join again at some point. Because I felt like, because of exactly what I was saying, I don't know if them lot was looking at it like that at that point, but for me, what I was seeing was, okay, cool, because these lot are good, if we book Cassh, Krept Konan might forward for free.
Yeah, which could damage you.
Konan, Cassh might forward for free. That's not doing good for our brand.
Yeah.
And if we collaborate at this point, then it would just be that.
Yeah.
So I wanted us to continue to build what we were doing separately, because even though we had the same fan base, our music was still kind of different. And then it's in that time frame that they basically ended up getting Yungen.
I remember.
So then Yungen was doing his thing, and then how we've ended up really kind of launching Yungen was, he was in the studio. I was about to do the Stay Scheming remix, and I basically put him on the remix. Like, he was already writing bars, I think, to it. We've put him on the remix and then done the video. Bangles brought the whole Asian community out. You get what I'm saying? So that's all the whips are out, and this is how we've ended up starting to launch it. So with them, it was never a play dirty thing per se. It was more like a bridging thing. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool, man. So obviously going forward, I think I kind of want to end on one question. I want you to describe this however how elaborate you want to go. But where do you see yourself as a brand? Like, where do you see that? Like, what does that look like in a year, 3 years, 5 years? Like, what does that look like for you?
Right. So it's difficult to answer this because I've developed this thing of showing results rather than sharing the plans. And what I want to say is this: I know what I'm doing. You understand? And I feel like anyone that's been paying attention, as time's gone on, has kind of seen that I know what I'm doing. I'm not alone either. That's another thing I'll say. We're powerful.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's better to be with us. If I'm being honest with you, it's better to be with us. You know what I'm trying to say? That 5 years didn't go in vain. We haven't really flexed our muscles at all yet.
Still, woman.
In terms of everything, musically, everything. You understand? Like, in all honesty, I'm just grateful, bro. Like, enough times I have gratitude moments throughout the day when I'm there and I'm just giving thanks because I can see the result of the days I was looking forward to happening. That's why I can sit and speak to you now with confidence about what I know is gonna happen. You get me? God willing, I know what's gonna happen because I know I'm not sitting here and just putting that out there. I'm putting in the work to make that happen. You get what I'm trying to say? I know what the results will be based on how we're gonna do what we're gonna do. You know what I'm trying to say? And I don't know, man. I feel like it's a part of a journey and it's not something that might make sense for every chapter, but that's like me giving you a book right now and just giving you, opening a random page, and it's not gonna make sense to you. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'd say anyone that's maybe watching this now, if you're interested in what you've heard, you gotta go and check the chapter.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Get me? Obviously, there'll be references in the edit for what we've spoken about or what. But really, now I feel like I've got to the stage where I'm ready to put out the first body of work that I don't know. I haven't 100% like said it yet, but maybe this is probably where we announce it. I don't know. I feel like I'm ready for an album.
Yeah. I feel like you had album traits in the last 2 projects.
Right. But you know what it is? Like, all of the projects I've done, I've always treated them like albums. But as artists, we have the perception that you're not supposed to do the album until you have all of the buttons ready to be pushed. You get me? And I don't know. I feel like for me, it's only of recent that I've realized that you never know what can make the difference to you getting to where you want to get to. And I feel like when you treat something like an album, there's more attention to detail. And I've already been doing that anyway. I don't know how to make a mixtape. Do you know how I make mixtapes? While you wait.
Yeah.
That's how I make it.
I felt like, if that's your mixtape, you're taking a piss, man.
That's how I make mixtapes.
That's not a mixtape.
You get me? That's how I chuck
I'm about samples and stuff.
Right. That's how I chuck that out. You get me?
Yeah.
So for me, what everyone can look forward to is called After the Return.
Okay.
And that is the project that I feel like it's gonna definitely put me in a place where people will begin to understand. If you understand, you'll begin to understand a lot more. But yeah, it's in your benefit to be with us rather than against us.
Listen, there you have it, man. Very in-depth conversation with my brother Cashh. On top of that, I think the main aim was obviously to show a side that I feel like we've done that, man. Yeah, I feel like we got there, you know what I mean? Couple magnums deep and stuff, but we got there. But look, if you don't know, if you're new to Cashh from my audience, definitely make sure that you catch up. There's a few things that we didn't touch on, and the reason why was because it's been spoken about on a lot of other platforms. If you're not, this was about giving him his flowers. This is someone who has not only persevered, who has been through hella ups and downs, hella roller coasters, still here toe to toe, still got an amazing career ahead of himself, got projects that are loading right now, bangers, like absolute bangers, not even because he's sitting here like, I'll come off this camera, hold my little vibes and play these bangers, yeah? And on top of that, a very, very intelligent, intentional brother. So, bro, I appreciate you for coming on the platform.
Appreciate it. It was everything I knew we would have and more anyway.
The next one's in Dubai.
Come on.